Hi guys, my name is Jess. The fan is slowing down, so that's what that grayness is. I just wanted to say that it's been a while since I posted on YouTube. One thing is my shop is Sketchwriter Jess on Etsy now. It used to be JB Hensley SWJ, and for a while I was selling on my website. Like I had a separate website called Sketchwriter Just Press. It's still there technically, but you don't have to go there to shop for my things anymore if you don't want to. So most of my business is handled. Most of my business is handled on my Etsy shop now. I also spend a lot of time on Instagram. I do live chats, and I also post on there. I still update my blog. My blog is sketchwriterjess.com. I'm Sketchwriter Jess on Instagram as well. And there's only a few sites now where I have another name. My Twitter is Jessica B. Hensley. And my Pinterest is, I think it's JB Hensley SWJ. If you look for it, that's what it says, like on the actual, like that's what'll come up. I'm also on Tumblr. I rarely ever post on there. SWJ Reads on there. And Facebook, I'm Sketchwriter Jess. So most of the platforms, I'm Sketchwriter Jess. Also, I wanted to say this channel is kind of taking a different direction than originally had it. Originally, it was meant for my mental illness self-help books. And my direction in self-help has taken a new turn. Before, I was doing more like worksheet type things. I've had a few sales in them, but I don't know, they just haven't resonated with people like I thought they were going to. Whereas I found something else now that resonates with people better, and so I'm going to let you know about it. I started doing tarot. I use tarot cards for writing. I write poems, and then I have what's called a channeled message, which comes through me when I'm typing on my computer. It's like the electricity just makes it come out. I don't hear voices, I don't see anything, it just comes through me, and I get it on the computer. I found that I have like a bit of like an intuition, of intuitive abilities. I don't know if I consider myself psychic, but I'm empathic, and I'm able to kind of tap into what people are thinking about. Maybe part of it is because, like, we all go through the same things. But when you have a mental illness, it's hard to figure out sometimes, like, whether you're really psychic or if it's, like, part of your psychosis. Because I have a psychotic component with my bipolar. I have bipolar 1, which is bipolar disorder with a psychotic component to it. So psychotic means, like, seeing hallucinations and hearing voices and things like that. And a lot of psychics, they see things, they hear things. But the difference is when they do it, it actually makes sense. There's nothing wrong, whereas, like, if you're psychotic, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's wrong. It's senseless. So I'm now at a point where I know the difference between the two things. And I'm having, like, similarities between now and when I had my my only psychotic break. But I'm realizing that now I'm fine. I'm doing really well. One thing that I did that I was doing for a long time, off and on, was drinking. I wasn't drinking a lot, but I was drinking enough that I think it interfered with my clarity. Like, my intuition is not as good when I drink. It's more like I'm dull, like I'm shut off from it. In fact, it kind of gets me in trouble because I want to follow something and see what happens, and it takes me away from my gut instincts. So, like, I could get sucked into flirting with somebody, and, you know, it could just be this thing where I'm like, oh, wow, this is going to go somewhere, and then it doesn't go anywhere, and then I'm like, oh, great. Whereas, you know, like, if I'm not drinking, I'm less likely to be doing that kind of crap. I mean, I'll meet somebody and we'll just talk. Like, it won't be like we're flirting the whole time. So I don't really drink too often. I mean, I definitely won't drink alone anymore. I drink, with other people, you know, like a glass of wine or a martini, whatever, just one thing, you know. That's one thing. And I give myself that safety valve, you know. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to be sober forever. I don't think I could handle that. But, yeah, basically I've gotten into tarot cards. I had developed a love for somebody, and it was very deep, and I started consulting tarot cards, and I had a friend that I was buying readings from, and then finally I was like, you know, I want to see what people are doing on YouTube, so I started watching the tarot card readings on YouTube, and some of them are just amazing. And everybody has their own style. There's such diversity. And I've actually gotten private readings from a few people. From one person on YouTube. And I've had private reading from somebody I know who's not on YouTube, but I see her on Instagram. And it's very insightful. But I will say this with tarot cards. You get what you put into it. I mean, a person can read for you. But you have a job to do, which is to take in what they say and take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. If you take everything as gospel, that's wrong, because it's not gospel. It's somebody's opinion. You know, that's what it's somebody's opinion. It's a heartfelt message, and it could even be a channeled message. So that's got that sixth sense. But it still is from a human. So from a human being. It's part of a soul, but it's also human. So you can't take it as if everything is written in stone. As a friend says, she says, you know, the future isn't written in stone. She does tarot card readings, that's what she says. And that is something that you have to keep in mind. Because if you take something too literally, you're going to screw up. You're going to screw everything up in your life. I know this because I went to an astrologer once, and that screwed my head really bad. And I think there are astrologers that are really positive, and you have some that have their own agenda, and they're just going to push whatever they want. And I think the same goes for tarot readers. Although the people I've seen on YouTube have been pretty good. They haven't really been fatalistic or anything like that. So I guess I can show you a little bit what I do with these. I have something here. This is something I wrote in my journal. I write down, I make a spread, and then I write down the cards, and then I write down their definitions, and then I come up with a poem based on the definitions. And then when I go on my computer, I type in a channel message. And this goes for either going on Instagram or just going on my regular computer and uploading it to a blog. I come up with a channel message. So I think sometime this week for YouTube, I'm going to post some of the ones that I came up with. And I have one of them on Instagram, and one of them is on my blog. So, if you check out my blog, I just updated it. It's got my latest one. I don't plan on posting all of my tarot readings to the blog. I kind of like to have them in different places. Plus, at some point, I want to put them into a book. So I kind of don't want to have everything in one place. I do want to sell the book. And I do want to sell things from my shop. And I have the 2 books that I already wrote, which are self-help books with worksheets, and I also have coloring pages on there now. And I plan to have at least 2 coloring pages a week. One that has bookmarks and one that's just a plain page. And they're $2 a piece. Remember, I draw it, and then I put it in the machine, I scan it, and I format it. It's a lot of work. And if you think about it with like apps and stuff, you'll end up paying like $3 a turn, you know. I mean, for some games. So I think that $2 really, you get hours of fun with coloring. And then you have something nice to hang up in your house. Or you can put it in your notebook and rotate your artwork or something, you know. You don't have to always have it out there. So basically, that's what's going on with my YouTube channel. And, oh, also I'm going to sell hand-colored bookmarks as well, based on my prints. The coloring pages. I'm going to sell those too. So, I hope that you like this format. It's definitely a new direction for me, but I found like a really nice community of people so far on Instagram. Some of them are actually on YouTube, and they're really nice. So, you know, I really am looking forward to becoming a part of the tarot card community. My readings are a little bit different than usual. It's a poem and a writing prompt. And there may be some longer poems in the future, some longer writing prompts in the future as channeled messages. But they're really meant more for insight rather than like foretelling the future. And there's a time and place for foretelling. You know, I've been to tarot readers to get my future foretold before. And, you know, it helps. It's like a confirmation sometimes. But like what I do is more like an insight. So like it gives you something to think about, it gives you something to work with. It's all up to you. There's there's nothing that says that like it's gonna happen, it's definitely gonna happen. There's nothing like that in my readings. You know, I believe that tarot is entertainment. It's storytelling, and it's storytelling in the most beautiful way. It's just a beautiful medium. You can read it, reading, writing, art all together. And it's like I found my voice. I found where I am. And I found people I finally fit in with. So I really am looking forward to becoming part of the community. I think I'll have my first video up perhaps maybe Tuesday, I think. I want to make sure it's really nice. And I have like all sorts of things to talk about. So I hope to see you then. Bye.